Yo, hi guys, it's Hdmi here with another unboxing, and this time we've got the Sony PlayStation 4 Player Edition. And you're going to say, what's the difference between the Player Edition and the standard editions of the PlayStation 4? Well, in the standard edition you get the console itself with one controller and no games, and you can pick that up for £349 here in the UK. In the States that's $399. But with the Player Edition you get one extra controller, the PlayStation Camera, as well as Killzone Shadowfall for £429. Links will be down in the description down below for after one. Let's get the seal broken along the top of the box here, and let's see if we can just bend and angle that out. There we go, that's got it. You can see we've got another box in there, so I'll just take that out as well. This white box contains a standard PlayStation 4 console and the one controller. This brown box that you can see here contains the Player Edition accessories, as I say, including Killzone Shadowfall, the secondary controller and the PlayStation Camera. So we'll leave this to one side and we'll take a look inside the box of the PlayStation 4 and see what we get. Beginning with the paperwork in the top right hand side here, I'll just get this open. To begin with, you've got the quick start guide, which is pretty intense to be fair, but if you need any help, do reference it at any point. You've got the Sony Computer Entertainment Guarantee in various languages if you want to read through that on a boring day, and of course you've got the PlayStation 4 Health and Safety Guide here as well if you need it. Next up we have the Dualshock 4 controller. It feels good in the hand, it doesn't feel too heavy or too light, and it's had some tweaks made to it from its predecessor, which include a touchpad in the center which has got a grid effect to it, and it clicks down with the share and the options buttons to either side. You've got a speaker in the center under which you've got the PlayStation button, under which you've got the headset port. The two analog joysticks seem very grippy indeed, with this silicone-esque material to it, which has a texture to stop your finger sliding off it. Around the front you've got bigger shoulder buttons as well as more angled trigger buttons. You've got a light bar in the center which gets picked up by the PlayStation Camera, under which you've got a micro USB charging port. As you can see, the underside of the controller has this circular textured material so you don't lose grip while you're holding it over long periods of time. Next up, if you open up this compartment here which unveils the mono headset, out of the plastic you can see the single earphone with the PlayStation branding just behind it, what seems to be quite a fragile cable, and here we have the inline controls for mic on and off and a clip as well, and at the end here you can see we've got the 3.5mm audio jack. Next up, what do we have here? We have the micro USB to USB 2 charging cable for the controller. A little bit closer up for you now, and here you have the micro USB 2.0 port. Along the other side you've got the standard USB 2.0 port to charge the controller. Next up we have the UK 3-pin power adapter with a 3-pin power plug along the one side and along the other a figure of 8 connector. And finally, to empty out this compartment here, we have the HDMI cable. A little bit closer for you now, and you can see the HDMI plug there with the grippier plastic ends that they're using with the HDMI logo along the other side. And now for the pièce de resistance, the PlayStation 4 console itself. So we'll just get rid of the packaging out the way here. I'll remove these cardboard support ends that we've got here and this side as well, and at the same time if we can also get rid of the plastic covering here. Ooh, that does look good, and we'll get rid of that. While we're looking at the underside of it here, you can see the two rubber feet that they've got here for resting it on its back here, and ooh, that does look good indeed. Internal hardware specs include a 32-bit AMD Jaguar 8-core CPU. The GPU is AMD's next generation Radeon based graphics engine, 8GB of GDDR5 RAM, 500GB of hard disk space, as well as a Blu-ray DVD drive. I really do like the shape and design, as well as the use of this two-tone black finish with the chrome PlayStation logo along the top there, angled so the device looks good even when it's on its side. And if we look between the top and bottom sections of the side layers, you can see the copyright branding options for HDMI, DTS, Dolby Surround Sound and Blu-ray, as well as some of the grills there as well. Along the front you can see the Sony branding along the top left, as well as a Blu-ray drive which sits between the two layers, and you can see the eject and the power buttons just above that. And further down we've got some super speed USB 3.0 ports with a PS4 logo along the right hand side. Carrying further around the device you can see some further grills between the top and bottom sections here, as well as some Dolby Surround Sound writing printed between the two sections. Along the rear here you can see even bigger grills with the heat sinks inside. Beginning from the left you've got the figure of 8 power connector, you've got the optical audio 8, you've got the HDMI out port to your TV, the Ethernet LAN connector, as well as an auxiliary port along the right hand side of this section. I'll leave the console on its side there and bring in the Player Edition box itself, and you can see the PlayStation logo kind of carved out the cardboard here. So let's see if I can get this open here and unveil what's inside. So if you get that open slowly, even, there we go. You've got the Killzone Shadowfall sealed itself, and it says not to be sold separately. As I say, this is a part of the Player Edition pack only. Normally you would have to buy this separately, so we'll leave that to one side there as well. And we have a secondary controller, so I'll get that out as well, some paperwork with it, and it's the same Dualshock controller that we've already seen, so we'll leave that there to one side as well and see what else we have here. If I can get that out, we have the PlayStation camera itself. So let's get this out of this packaging. This PlayStation camera actually includes two cameras, as you can see here, which shoot up to a resolution of 1280 by 800, as well as 4 microphones, which you can see the grills shining as the light hits those. You can also change the positioning of the camera by twisting it left or right. This PlayStation logoed side obviously stays still on top of your TV or table, wherever you decide to position it. And the cabling includes obviously this port, which plugs into the auxiliary section of the PlayStation. So folks, that's what you get out the box when you buy the Player Edition of the PlayStation 4. As ever, any comments or questions you guys have got, hit them up in the comment section down below there. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video and you like what you saw, and if you haven't already done so, subscribe. It's also down there as well. It doesn't cost you a penny, and you can also check out some of our forthcoming videos. Thanks for watching, have a wicked day, and we'll see you next time.